Hello and welcome to Spy Math. This is Mr. Spy, and this will be exponents. Rule number 2, also known as the quotient rule of exponents. When you divide exponents, you subtract. We'll first go over why you subtract, and then a few examples, and then a few odd things that lead to other videos. So let's begin. Okay, so let's look at this. X to the 5th over x to the 3rd. The rule says you subtract, but why? So let's write an expanded form. 5x's in the numerator, 3x's in the denominator. And let's look at this. So we cancel out the x's, x divided by x, x divided by x, x divided by x. When you divide anything by itself, it's 1. So we're left with 2x's in the numerator, or x squared. So if you notice carefully, we could just do 5 minus 3 and get x squared. And that's why when you divide, you subtract. So let's do a few examples and then look at some odd cases. Okay, so if we had x to the 8th, y to the 3rd, over x to the 2nd, y to the 2nd. So you subtract the exponent, so it's x to the 6th, y to the 1st, and you don't need to write the y to the 1st. So it's x to the 6th times y. Let's do another example. This one with a fraction. So 30 divided by 2, x to the 16th, x to the 5th. So you do 30 divided by 2, you get 15. If you use a coefficient, then subtract the exponents. So 16 minus 5, 11. Sometimes you have a fraction. So if we had 8 over 12, x to the 10th, x to the 8th. So 8 over 12 simplifies to 2 over 3, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then you get x to the 2nd, 10 minus 8 is 2. Okay, let's look at one more example, and then we'll look at a few odd cases. So one more example. X to the 3rd, y to the 5th, over x to the x, y to the 3rd. So that's 3 minus 1 is 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. And if it's both the same power, you can write as x, y in parentheses to the 2nd power. Just wanted to mention that as your answer. And remember, there is this 1 here. There is no power. Now let's look at two odd cases. First odd case is when the powers are the same. So we have x to the 8th divided by x to the 8th. You subtract the exponents, 8 minus 8, and you get x equals 0. For now, we'll leave that as a question mark, and we'll come back on another lesson, another video, to explain that is, and that'll be my 4th rule. But what happens there? And one more oddball case. What happens if the numerator is smaller than the denominator? So 5 and 8, so you follow the subtraction rule. 5 minus 8, and you get x equal to -3rd. And also, what's a fractional exponent even mean? Sorry, not a fractional. What does a negative exponent mean? Fractional. Oh boy, we'll see that means later on. What's a negative exponent mean? Like, what does 2 to the -3rd even equal to? So these two will leave as questions for later videos. So let's wrap up. This was the video on exponential rule number 2, which says x to the m divided by x to the n equals x to the m minus n. This is Mr. Spy signing off. Please subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more videos coming later today and this week. Bye, everybody.